It's Wednesday, August 9th, 2023. I'm David Ellis with the Ellis Report on Capital Media HD 99.3. The National Insurance Scheme has published the recommendations coming out of last year's public consultations on the revitalization of the fund. One recommendation is that any ministerial directions on investment should have the added safeguard that any instruction be written or gazetted, that professional investment managers should drive the investment process independently, and there should be publication of the investment policy statement. Former actuary Charles Herbert calls it an excellent set of recommendations, but he also says he can't understand why government hasn't adopted the report in its entirety. Children's rights advocate Faith Marshall Harris is expressing shock and alarm at widely circulated videos that are depicting children in lewd scenes with grown-ups during the just-ended Kadooment festivities. She sees it as what she calls the sexualizing of children. Suicides are not only an issue here in Barbados. Recent data shows that more Jamaicans are killing themselves, particularly men. There's been a 26% increase in the number of people who took their lives in Jamaica in 2022 compared with the previous year. St. Vincent's Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves is calling for the establishment of a permanent African Union CARICOM Commission. He wants it established to facilitate the implementation of development projects.
Because unless you have a body of this kind to drive the practical projects you're talking about, Candyman, we're not going to get them off the ground. There has to be a mechanism.
Guyana's parliamentary opposition is proposing a series of amendments to the country's new petroleum law. According to the opposition, these changes will guarantee the country more oil money and greater transparency. As we in Barbados continue to feel the heat, it is even worse in the United States.
Another day of extreme heat is likely today along the Gulf Coast of the U.S. National Weather Service has issued heat warnings and advisories from Texas to Florida. All of Louisiana and Florida are affected. Baton Rouge and Orlando are expecting afternoon highs in the upper 90s.
Still in the U.S., Ohio has rejected a Republican notion to make it harder to change the state's constitution, a move seen as a defeat for anti-abortion groups there. 41 migrants have died in a shipwreck off the Italian island of Lampedusa. They were on a boat that set off from Tunisia and sank on its way to Italy. More than 1,800 people have lost their lives so far this year in the crossing from North Africa to Europe. And China's economy has slipped into deflation as consumer prices declined in July for the first time in more than 2 years. The weather forecast for today: a tropical wave is affecting the island. It will therefore be mostly cloudy to overcast, with occasional scattered light to moderate showers and a chance of isolated thunderstorms. I'm David Ellis with the Ellis Report on Capital Media HD 99.3.